Here, speaker. What's going on, family? Had to interrupt the episode really quick just to let you know about this free gift that I have for you. All right. If you're a speaker who's out there and you're tired of sliding in DMs, you're tired of sending cold call emails and still not getting a response, but you want to generate revenue, right? You want to explode your leads and you're trying to find a way to build your credibility, well, go to getpaidwithpodcasting.com. I have a free training just for you. Now, back to the episode.
So if a system costs say $30,000 or $40,000, you might look at that like, whoa, that's a lot of money.
Right.
Which in fact, you already on a plan spending way more money, double that amount, but you're just looking at that monthly bill. But if I can set you up with a monthly bill that's less than what you're paying now, say the total cost is $30,000. Once you make those payments and you hit that $30,000, you're done. There is no more payments. You're generating your own electricity.
Wow.
How long do you plan on paying for electricity, Tim?
Man, you'd have to pay for electricity the rest of your life, man.
That's the old way. Old way. I'll
Right.
offer another option.
Thank you for joining the Ridiculously Blessed podcast. I'm your host, Tim Jackson, and today we're going to get solar. We're going to talk to George Turner, who is the Independent Powur Consultant. And he's going to tell us about going to solar power, why you should go to solar power and how. George, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Tim. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. So, solar power, how did you get into the solar power industry?
Funny story. So I was browsing online. I don't remember if it was Facebook or what have you, but I ran across an ad about getting solar for your home. So I filled out the information. Someone gave me a call and set up an appointment. So by the time that appointment day came, it was late in the evening. Someone knocked at my door, and I had totally forgot about it. But I sat down with the gentleman, and the numbers made sense, and I was very surprised. I was like, "Wow, why isn't everybody doing this?" So while I was sitting down, it was towards the end, and my wife walks in, and she had knew about it, but she had forgot as well, and was kind of at the end of it. So I went ahead and I closed everything. I signed up for it. And while I was talking to him, I asked him about, how is it, working for the company and stuff like that. And he said everything, it was great. Long story short, he gave me his information. He set up an interview with the district manager, and the rest is history. But I want to go back to when I was sitting at the table with the gentleman and my wife that came in. So because we were so far towards the end, she kind of just did her own thing. She didn't ask any questions or anything like that. And when the gentleman left, she said, "Well, you're paying for it." I was like, "No problem, no big deal, right?" So she was like, because she was skeptical somewhat about it. But once she started seeing our Dominion power bill after the fact, she started bragging at work as far as how low our power bill was. So hindsight.
Why would you get into solar? What's your why?
Well, before I was just interested in the technology, renewable energy. But once I started training and learning more about it, I always knew it was a better source of electricity. But the way I'm able to help homeowners save money, give them independence, add value to their property, and help the environment, like for me, that gave me purpose. So I'm very passionate about this now. And I kind of grew into that because I see what I'm doing and how it's impacting people's lives. So that's my why. It's environment first, then homeowners. And then, of course, I'm able to make a living by doing that. So for me, it's a trifecta.
Now, with solar power and solar energy, not a lot of people know about it. So it's a learning curve for them. So what are some of the misconceptions that you've run across with solar power and solar energy?
That is free. That is, and then and at the same token, that is too expensive. Is my lights gonna flicker when I get solar? Those type of things. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I've heard it all. But once I sit down with someone and explain everything, they're like, "Oh, okay, that's how that works." So yes, and we can get into a little bit of that a little later on.
All right. Now, one of the things that you do is you've taken this and you want to bring it to the community, and you're reaching out to people all over. So,
Mhm.
what's your mission with this? What's the end game for you with this?
So I'm trying to bring people on board as consultants, to where they can educate people on solar, how it works, the benefits of it. Also, ambassadors who can actually just spread the word and earn an income that way as well. But my goal is to have any and everybody that I can using renewable energy for our environment, because I look at it like, the circle of life. We breathe, our oxygen that we breathe keeps us alive. So if we breathing in all this, pollution, that's not good for us. We can't sustain that way. So we have to do our job and having a cleaner environment. So that's my mission.
Okay, let's say walk us through the process of getting involved with solar. What's the first step that potential clients would have to do to get the ball rolling?
They can reach out. They can submit their name, address, email address, and a power bill, and I can go ahead and submit for them an energy savings report. After that, I will set up a time that works for them to go over and educate them how solar actually works and how it would benefit them personally. Because every home is different. So I get a lot of people that ask me, my house is this size, 3 bedrooms, 2,100 square feet. How much would something like that cost? But it varies. So you can be in a 800 square foot home and pay more than if you're in a 4,000 square foot home. It just depends on your consumption, how many people in the house. So it's a lot of variables to that. So I would sit down and go over everything that's designed specifically for your home and your consumption. To add to that, I like to say, so we have options. We have, cash options. We have, 100% financing, no upfront costs or anything like that. So essentially what you'd be doing is, instead of paying your utility company, you're taking that money and paying your solar payment. So in that case, I guess it is free, because there's no money initially out of your pocket. You're just transferring money from one place to the other. One adds value to your home. One has an end date and you pay it off. With the utility company and the way we've been doing things, that's a lifetime loan. But people don't look at it that way. So that's my job to bring that to the forefront.
Another thing you do with education is I've noticed that you've had workshops and just learning events.
Hmm.
Who do you feel like should attend those types of events?
Anybody that's looking to join the movement, as far as educating people or homeowners on going solar, like do they want a better environment, a cleaner environment? Just anybody who's willing to spread the word to move the renewable energy movement forward, and that's looking for a career in it as well. So, but I want people that's passionate about that. So I'm not money driven, but people can make a great living helping people.
Right. So it sounds to me like the Get Solar team is like really helping to change the community, both in getting people solar power or energy efficient, and also career opportunities.
Absolutely.
if you wanted to talk to us a little bit about that, like, how could somebody get with the team and, learn more about solar energy?
All they have to do is reach out to me. If you post my information, I will get them set up and give them all the information that they need. One portion of it costs nothing to spread the word as far as an ambassador. It's a small fee if you want to be a consultant, but it gives you access to all the training that you need, mentors, and all that good stuff.
All right, so George, one of the things that we ran into, we were looking at solar for our home and trying to figure out, in this area, there's a lot of Airbnbs, there are different things going on. So one of the things we question is, how do you get the value back on making an investment into your home?
Now, when you say, how do you get the value back? Right now, you pay, what would you say you pay on average for electricity?
Man, most people on average are paying $350, $400 in the winter. So
wow.
yeah, this area, they're getting hammered.
So in that case, I promise you, I could get you, if you get enough sunlight on your property, I could get you a solar system paying less than that monthly. Now, when you say as far as the investment and adding the value, say $350 a month. Let me do the math on that real quick.
All right.
So that's $4,200 a year, right? Let's do 20 years times 20. That's $84,000, right? That you're gonna spend in the next 20 years, and that's if the rates don't increase. And do you think the rates is gonna go up or down?
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna go up.
Exactly. So you're gonna spend more than that in the next 20 years. So if a system costs, say, $30,000 or $40,000, you might look at that like, whoa, that's a lot of money.
Right.
Which in fact, you already on a plan spending way more money, double that amount, but you're just looking at that monthly bill. But if I can set you up with a monthly bill that's less than what you're paying now, say the total cost is $30,000. Once you make those payments and you hit that $30,000, you're done. There is no more payments. You're generating your own electricity. How long do you plan on paying for electricity, Tim?
Man, you'd have to pay for electricity the rest of your life, man.
That's the old way. That's the old way. I'll offer something. I'll offer another option.
That's
you
awesome,
man. You don't have to pay for it until you die anymore. Right. So,
and that's another thing is the area we live in. There's some older people here in the neighborhood, and they're on a fixed income. So this would benefit them as well.
It would. Now, some people, I'm gonna be very transparent here. Some people say if they're to get qualified for the 100% zero down option, you have to make at least around $40,000 a year, right?
Okay.
So some people, if they don't, let's say they're around 16 or 20 grand on certain fixed disability and stuff like that, it would be hard to qualify them. As far as the income, and then that could vary too as far as their credit score. Anywhere from 600 and up, I like 650 and up, I can get you qualified and have you paying cheaper than what you're paying now for solar.
Okay. And how long?
Go ahead.
Oh, how long does the process take? From the time you're interested in it to now you got panels and you're fully solar.
So once we sit down, if you like, what I propose, we sign the documents. It could be up to 90 days from that point. It could be less than 4 weeks till you're installed. Now, after you're installed, we schedule electrical inspection and a building inspection. Once both of those pass, we notify your utility company. They come out, they swap out your meter with a bi-directional meter. Once they do that, then we notify interconnection, then that's when you're granted permission to operate. Now, I'm gonna go back because I just touched on something that we didn't go over. As far as net metering, that's a huge reason why a lot of people you see going solar now. It's because of the net metering program. Majority of the utility companies in Virginia have it. What this does is allows you to put panels on your house or ground mount to produce electricity for yourself and to send back to the grid, to their grid.
Mhm.
This also helps them reach their goals because they have a certain amount of renewable energy that they have to send to the grid by law. So
Mhm.
this helps them meet their quota. So let's say you can have panels on your roof. You're producing electricity. You're producing enough to run your home and more. So anytime you're producing more than you're using in the home, that meter will start going backwards. You start delivering power to their grid,
Mhm.
and they give you a credit for that, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. But that's how that works. So say like you remember the old Verizon rollover minutes, how that used to
Mhm.
work. So
Yeah.
let's say doing a billing cycle, you consume 1,000 kilowatt hours. Now I say kilowatt hours because that's how you get billed on your power bill. They charge you per kilowatt hour. So let's say you consume 1,000, but let's say you produce with your solar system 1,200. How much do you owe your utility company that month?
Nothing. They owe you, right?
Now those 200 kilowatt hours rolls over to the next month and offsets whatever that is. Now let's say you produce more. Now this is one thing that homeowners gets upset about because you'll have a consultant that don't explain this. They'll say, "Oh, you won't have a bill at all," but in fact you will. So you'll have a distribution charge, and that's just for your meter being there on the side of your house. I know with Dominion, it's around $7 to $10. So even though you produce more, they're still going to charge you that $7 to $10 distribution charge. So that's good for homeowners to know as well. So it's not going to be zero, but it'll be like $7 to $10. But let's say you consume 1,000 kilowatt hours, but it's a winter month. It was you didn't produce that much that month. You only produced 600 kilowatt hours with your system. How much do you owe your utility company?
So if I only owe them 600 because I assume, or 400 because
Yeah,
I assume consumed a
there you
thousand.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. But right now you're paying them for the whole 1,000.
Right. And so those rollover could help offset some of those,
Just
fall,
correct.
winter.
Correct.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Correct.
That's where I was going. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So that's how we have. So when we look at it, we take a year worth of data, like the past 12 months of your consumption, and we do
Mhm.
a annual average, and then we build a system based on, say if you use 12,000 kilowatt hours for the year, we build a system that'll produce that if we have that much room on the roof or if you have space for a ground mount. But we might only have enough room on your roof to produce seven 7,000 opposed to the 12. So that would be something like what say a 70% offset or something like that. So at least you're reducing what you would pay your utility company by 70%.
Right.
So just different ways, and it's all depends on each homeowner.
Mhm. Now, one of the things you said was there's a roof system and there's a ground system. What determines which one you use?
Do so if you have the land and say you can get more sun hours or sunlight on a ground mount opposed to the roof. So your roof has like a bunch of dormers and you only can fit 15 panels on the roof, but you want more production. So you will build a ground mount so you can add more panels for more production. So if you want to produce 100% of your consumption opposed to 60%. Some people just prefer it on the ground and they don't want it on their roof.
So that's always wondered that because I've gone by, like I said, here farmland. You go by a
Uh-huh.
farm and they've got them out in the field, and
But
then
the
the next place
farm,
will have them.
what you see on the farmland and you see all those acres of just solar panels, that's the utility company. So that's most of that is Dominion that you see. So back in 2018, they invested $1 billion in solar. So I don't know if it's on your bill, but on my bill, I'm paying for renewable energy projects. I'm paying for the coal ash spill. So I'm paying for all of that. So what they do is they have to meet these quotas. So if they have to spend this money to invest in renewable energy sources like solar panel, wind, hydro, they're going to do it because they have to by law. They're just going to put that on their bill, add it to their cost. The rates go up. We pay for it. So why not cut out the middleman and put it on our roof or in our backyard and get it directly from the source? And then, well, the sun. I'll say the sun.
Wow.
So no plant or anything like that. Just the sun hits these panels, generate electricity, and you can power your home.
Now, are there any restrictions on house size? Or let's say it's a business. If a business wanted to go solar, could they potentially do that?
They do it all the time. So say like, I mean, you see it on schools. All right. So absolutely.
Man.
So and right now, this year, if you get your system installed this year, there's a 26% federal tax credit by going solar. And it's an additional, I think, 10% for commercial. So for business, that would be commercial. So it's roughly, 35%, 36% tax credit. So what that means is, say if your system's $30,000, you get a $7,800 tax credit from the government for doing it. So you're really only paying $22,200.
All right. So if you look at it the right way, man, it's a no-brainer. It's a
Yeah.
no-brainer.
And right now we're doing a new customer incentive, which we'll pay the first year of your payments for you.
We talked about the workshop. So when is your next workshop?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. And what can they expect from your workshop?
I have workshops for someone who's looking to add solar in their home, and then I will also have ones for people who's looking to join the movement as far as educating people on solar.
All right.
So you mentioned before we go, that you've spoken to someone about solar in the past, like you had to sit down with someone.
Yes.
So what happened?
That person never came back. Now I think about it. They never reached back out, man. I must have had a look on my face or something. I don't know.
So we got to make that happen. We have to have a sit down and let me go over with you and your wife, what it would look like for your family, and if it's worth the investment.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely interested, man. You've taught me a lot today, so I got a lot to think about, but I definitely want to tap in with you and get some more information and make solar happen for me too.
Absolutely. I'm here, and I appreciate you. I'm trying to spread the word. The more people we can get on board, the quicker we can get to the goal.
That's right. So, man, before I get you closed out, I know you got things to do, man. Before you go, one of the things we always do is talk about blessings and lessons. And what we do is, instead of saying success and failure, we don't consider anything a failure. Anytime we fail, it's just a lesson. So what are some of the lessons you've learned in your journey to get to where you are today?
For me, it's just standing firm and sticking with my core values. I never get too high or get too low, and I learned as long as I stick with something or stick with my core values, good things will happen. So that's the biggest thing for me. It's been a long journey. and I look at it. I used to think, oh well, this tough, and why didn't I get this break? It made me who I am. So I'm very humble, and I have tremendous amount of gratitude just for even being able to sit here with you today and do the things that I'm able to do.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And the next part is, hey, man, I know there's many blessings in our lives. The fact that we get to wake up, man.
Yes.
What's the first blessing, or what's the blessing that comes to mind when I say that?
Tim, I'm a simple guy, right? So my blessing is life, just life itself. My family, friends, and my thought process is we're all one. It's crazy. We're all one, but we're individuals as well. But we're all one as a collective. So just being able to communicate or commune with others and be joyful. I'm that's a spiritual journey that I've been on for a long time as well. That I've have taken leaps within the past maybe 2 years. So
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Well, man, I'm not gonna hold you up too long. I appreciate your time and information, man. Like I said, you gave us a lot to think about today. Looking forward to tapping in with you very soon,
yes,
and getting some more information, man.
all right, we're gonna
So,
get you solar. We're gonna
all
go ahead and
right,
get you out there. All right.
definitely. There's a lot. There's a lot more like me in this area. They need to get solar too. So yeah, you're right. You're right. So before you go, man, let me switch the screen and put it on you now, and I'm gonna get you to close us out with some words of encouragement.
For all of you out there that you have a dream or something that you feel inside, go with it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it or it's going to be hard or what have you. Just take one step at a time and believe in it. And that's all you have to do. I don't care what it is. Whatever your heart desire or your imagination comes up with, go with it. As long as it's in the best interest of all parties involved, you'll be just fine.
All right, man. I appreciate that. So, guys, make sure you tap in with George and the Get Solar team. I will have all the information posted for you. And to be selfish for a minute, make sure that you like and subscribe for this podcast. I keep forgetting that every time. Make sure you like
Absolutely.
and subscribe. And look for more events in the future. George, man, I love what you guys are doing over there. Keep rocking. And we definitely going to tap in together. And we're
Thank
going to
you.
get everybody solar.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.